Alright, hey guys, what's up? This is CroixDawg, and today we're going to be playing against another coach from the site, PrimordialAA. Ace. This is probably going to try to run another few of these in the next upcoming videos of the thinking players and their thought processes. So he's going to post the same video up online, and then we might do a future video where we'll discuss hands, but hopefully this is something you guys will enjoy. Playing a very, very good player, and here we go. All right, 5-4 suited connectors. My initial plan in this match is to take things pretty slow, and then throw in some 3-bets and put in a few selective moves a little bit later. Like against a normal opponent, I would probably bet out this turn. But I would expect him to check and give us a free card a decent amount here. That being said, he bets out 80. Don't really think against these kind of players. These are the hands that I'll just pitch in this spot. I'll either be raising here or I will be folding. I don't like calling, and then if we do hit a heart, he's probably not going to pay us off anyways because he's a good thinking player. So I just like pitching those hands and really avoiding trouble. Going to be making a lot of triples from the button. Going to be playing it pretty aggressive. Just flop the nuts straight here. Going to make a standard 2/3 pot continuation bet and hope that he has some piece. Okay, he just flats. The turn is an ace. A good double barrel card. But this time we have the nuts, so I would expect him to call us with a queen. Or if he hit an ace, I'd expect him to call. Any raise here, we're obviously getting it in. King 10, that's pretty sick cooler, but... Okay, I'm just going to flat this one, just in case, just to give him a chance to bluff the river if he did miss. And again, if we're beat by King 10, it's just a pretty sick hand. And now I'm going to think a little bit, and I'm going to bet 600. I'd expect for him to look us up with like a hand like top 2 here, but I think that he's probably going to fold a majority of the time. I don't think he thinks that we're going to make a move, but I like playing the hand the way we did, playing it pretty tricky. He's definitely not going to put us on a straight after we flat that. He's going to put us on maybe a flush draw, or maybe an ace or something getting stubborn. So I'll talk to him after the match, and well, I guess you guys will see it on the next video, on his video. So, but if I had to make a prediction, I would say that would be I don't know. That's a weird hand. Maybe 2-pair making a committing bet. Maybe just him not believing me and thinking I'm double barreling and just doing it with just with nothing. I don't know. That's an interesting spot. Okay, we got the king high. We have some showdown value. Check. I wouldn't expect Primo to let me check down these medium strength hands, though. I think he's going to put out a few bets. We'll see what his showdown hand is here. And he has a hand with pretty good, better showdown value than mine, obviously. Okay, triple. Not going to 3-bet this. We hate to see a shove, so we're just going to flat. Terrible flop. Misses us completely. Just going to check fold to a bet. Yes. I might start incorporating a few min raises against him. We'll see. We'll see when he 3-bets the first time. Okay, we flopped top pair here. Again, on a draw heavy board like this, we are more than happy to get this in. I mean, if they trap us, so be it. Turn is a 3. Wouldn't expect him to have one of these. Gonna make another bet and try to get value. An 8 might call. A 9 I we'll see how he responds. Gonna hate to see like a baby raise here though. Gonna really hate to see that. The best play we'll probably have is a call, and if he would shove, it's going to put us in another tough spot. I can't see him shoving lighter, and he folds. So there I might expect a hand like, if I had to guess, I would say Queen 10 maybe. And this is just me putting just a sample range of what I think you could have out there, and again, we'll see if that's right. Keeping aggressive, calling a shove with this all day. This is definitely a plus EV hand against his shoving range with our 90 chips involved. He makes it 240, and I would expect him to fold to this shove. I think this is a BS raise from a good player. I don't think that he's going to make this. If I had to guess, I would say that he's going to fold to one of our shoves. But either way, if we get it in, we're behind. It's cooler. Nothing to do about it. Okay, wasn't a BS. Had 2 jacks. And, yeah. So the only really hands that are going to dictate that kind of action are going to be those middle pairs that I'm going to have. And maybe overcards. I do like his raise. I'm going to fold... I'm not going to be calling there with. I'm not going to have queens to aces, and when I ship, yeah. So it's just a unlucky spot for us. No worries. We're 2-1 deficit. Nothing to get worried about right now. Again, the blinds are just 15-30. With this, I like defending with hands like this, so I'm going to call. Obviously, we missed the flop. Gonna start doing a few tricky things, I think, against our opponent because he's a thinking player. I think I'm gonna start leading out of position a few more times. Not in this case, and not gonna try to get tricky with it. So now's where I'm gonna start incorporating a few of my min bets, or min raises. I would expect him to fold his junk hands out of position. I wouldn't expect him to try to get cute. Really, when the stacks are this size. Gonna flat here with the king queen. Again, missing the flop. And if he bets out, I think it's gonna be tough to. I think we're just probably gonna dump it again. That turns a jack. I think that we can get away with taking it down here. I think that this is going to work a high percentage of the time. We're just hoping he doesn't have a jack. I'd expect him to fold ace high. I'd expect him to fold king ace high lower. With any part of this board, maybe a pair of deuces he folds. But now he puts in a baby raise, which it'd be a crafty bluff. I don't think that. And against more regular players, I don't really like making playbacks at these smaller raises. So yeah, just gonna fold. Just gonna dump the 7-5. So now we're at a 3-1 deficit. All right, just gonna take a flop with the queen 7. Flop comes ace high, and we're just gonna let him have it. Yeah. Folding queen 4 suited. Again, gonna play small ball a little bit, min raise. And he's folded. I think he's folded all three of our min raises. I'm sure he's had junk hands every time, but in this spot, I like defending with this hand. I like the value of this hand, so I'm gonna flat, flop a straight. I'm not gonna lead out, just gonna let him. And I'm gonna, if he would bet out like 120, I'm gonna ship the flop. All right, turns a 7. I think now we're just hoping for him to have some piece. I'd expect him to fold out here a lot, though. We're just praying that he has some piece of this. And yeah, I think he's going to check behind a lot of times too. So I like betting out there, giving ace high a chance to call. I think he'd check behind with an ace high. All right, now we're gonna test the waters, see if he's going to let us limp a little bit, and he does. I like firing out bets here. It's tough for a jack to continue on. I'd only expect him to continue on with a king or a flush draw, and I think that takes it down. I think it's a pretty profitable bet against a regular opponent. And obviously we're gonna do that with our hands that we flop big with too, just to balance the range. We don't want to just always, if they find us, catch us one time, leading out with just queen high. I'd expect this to be a weak hand, but I'm not gonna 4x it, just because he's a pretty clever player, and I'm just gonna take a flop with it. A decent flop for us. 8 gives us the nut. I'm gonna lead out for a min bet. I think this will take it down a little bit, and I wouldn't expect to get raised here too often. So it might give us a free card to hit a 3 or an 8. And he folds. Just going to show him we're capable of folding. Fold to 6-4. And these are the kind of matchups I wouldn't recommend. I know that when you guys are sitting first at the 50s or sitting second, sometimes you don't recognize a name and you will encounter a good player. But the main goal is not to play good players. So, but I understand it happens from time to time. And so that's why I hope these videos will help. Jack 6. Just going to fold. I'll defend there sometime depending upon how frequently they min raise, but he hasn't been doing that much at all. Just going to dump the 5-4 with the intention to limp a hand like that next time. We're showing him we're capable of folding. Knuckle it with the queen 5 here. And I expect this to be bullshit, so I'm gonna make a min raise, but I think that he thinks that it might be bullshit, so he might ship on top of it, but he folds. And that would help out for a future. Next time I do drill a flop, if I would have a 9 there, I'm gonna min raise if he does that again, because I would think that if I did that, it would be a BS raise. Okay, ace 10 here. Not gonna try to get tricky. These 100 chips are valuable. Just gonna make it 4x, and I'd expect him to fold here almost 100% of the time. Just based on the pattern of continuous limping, and I would make a play there with something. Just based on the tempo of this match, I would probably make a 4x bet there a lot of times anyways. Now this is a tricky spot because this is super marginal. I could shove here and be fine with it because just because of the order and the timing of the events that happened. But again, he knows what I just did, and so I'm just gonna give him credit this hand. But either I think against a regular the timing of the events that just happened, I don't think shoving's that bad. but because we're going to give him credit for being smarter than most regulars, we're just going to let him have it. And we'll see from that video if it's something like a suited connector or if it was a hand that had us dominated. Again, another limp with a hand like this. Gonna check behind this flop. We hit this flop pretty hard. Turn the straight. Gonna bet out a min bet here. Hope that he doesn't believe and calls with a jack. I don't think he'll give us credit for a 10. And now I would expect this range to be a jack. Gonna think about it, pause it, and hope that he'll call this 150 and not believe. And again, we're pretty familiar with each other's games. So I'm just crossing my fingers, hoping that he's going to make a crying call here. But I think that he's going to have the No, he did call, and I would guess it'd be a jack. I don't think it's 2 pair plus, and it was a queen. All right, so now 50, 100 blinds. Going to get pretty aggressive here. Going to dump this 9-3 suited. And now this is just, it's pretty much a lot of variance in here, so whoever wins, yeah. Okay, min raises, I would expect him to fold to this a lot. That's why I'm doing it. Those 200 chips are big. Didn't happen, made a good call. And he took down the first match. So hopefully I can get some revenge. That 2-7's hand was, or pocket 7's hand was a little bit unlucky. But yeah, he played that match pretty well, so on to match 2. Hopefully we can get some revenge. And yeah, we'll see. I'll probably watch the video after it's posted late tonight or tomorrow, and see what spots. Again, not going to get too fancy early unless we see the timing. Alright, flop 10-10-9. Gonna make a standard continuation bet just to balance our ranges out and see how he responds to it, and he folds. That would be a board where almost any turn I'd be checking behind. It's just a spot for me to one barrel, and if he calls, then just pretty much. Okay, he makes another 3-bet, and I'm pretty much just going to ship here. If he has a pair above ours, again, just a pretty standard cooler, and this 180 chips is pretty big. So I'm sorry, I'm taking this out of focus. I'm sorry about that. Uh, yeah, that's just my natural table grabbing tendency. Maybe we'll get a call from sevens through nines, but I would expect that to be more of a move than a really legit hand. Obviously, easy to say based on the fold, but getting those tens in there is pretty standard. He knows that I'm not going to get cute, so he knows that I had a pretty solid hand. And now for future, I would expect his three bets to be a lot tighter and a lot more top tier premiums. That being said, we're going to three bet these eights, and if he ships on us, we're going to be in between a rock and a hard place. Fortunately, he didn't. Going to stay aggressive from the button, min raising. I will mix up the min raising range. Sometimes I'll do it with monsters. Sometimes we'll do it with pretty hands and just shitty hands like that Jack 6. Flatten here with the 9-8. Flopped middle pair. Gonna probably check call a bet. Yeah, gonna check call a bet. It's gonna be a tougher spot on the turn for us. Hopefully he'll just check behind. And he did. Now I'm just gonna make a bet that's gonna a bit of a blocker bet. Don't really want him to put in a healthy bet, and I'm gonna try to make it look like we have a king. I'd expect him to call with a queen probably. And the reason I do that is because I don't want to show down our hand really, even though we have pretty good showdown value. I'm not really going to think that he has a queen. If he does, I want to confuse him for future matches, because he might be thinking, why would he bet a 9 there? But I don't want to call a big bet. That's what it comes down to. It's going to be a tough spot on the river with that bet if he makes near a pot size bet. Then again, if he checks behind, then we've got the lock winner. All right, we got the ace high. Check the flop. From my experience, I hate seeing bets like that. I just hate flatting this, even though it's a pretty safe board. If he keeps doing it, then maybe we'll. But for now, again, just my personal style. Just give him the benefit of the doubt. Don't really see a need to get involved there, because then we turn ourselves into wanting to go into hero call mode all the time, and that's going to cost us money in the long run. I think this is a good spot to 3-bet. I don't think he has a hand here often, and now I'm just making a read based on the timing. I don't think he's going to think I'm doing it light. I think it's a pretty good spot to put in the 3-bet there. I think I'm expecting it folds a lot here. And I'm just basing it on what I think his image of me is. I don't think he thinks that I want to make any brash plays, and I don't really. But based on some timing, I'm going to mix it up. All right. We flopped a hand that we're not folding here. Got a lot of fold equity here, and we have the second nut flush draw. So we're making a healthy bet. Going to call a ship. Going to make it tough for him with just, if he did call with like an ace X, if he called with a maybe like a pair of sevens or something. We're going to make it really tough for him. Okay, so he does shove, and we have to call. So we'll see what he called us with pre-flop. Oh man, sicko. Ah, boy. So he thought we were absolutely... Alright, the read there was just way off. He thought we were absolutely full of shit. That was a very surprising hand. Yeah, so we won with the queen 9 high. Okay, now we're making live adaptations. That really... I'm actually not going to make that many adjustments. I don't think he's going to do that again. I think that was a pretty situational and rare occurrence for him to do that. And again, I don't absolutely hate the play, because he did read us. He read our bet of 370 pretty well, but it's tough though. With only, I think he had 480 behind, I really have to just be totally full. I can't have a jack, queen, king of diamonds in my hand, or I'm going to call. I can't have an ace. So it's pretty much just me making a move at it. And so in that regard, I don't think he had too much fold equity unless I had a real bullshit hand. But he did read the bet well. We did not really want action. As the cards were faced up, we did want action, but he read the bet well. But I don't know if he has enough fold equity. And I don't think that if that flop came ace 10 5 all clubs, and we might have the 9 clubs or whatever, ace 10 5 all hearts, and we had a queen 9 high, I don't think that I would put out a 2 or a 370 bet into that pot, because I'd expect him to get it in there with any face card heart, any ace, if he called with like 10 9 9 of hearts, I'd expect him to get it in too. So yeah, not sure if I like that play, but he did read the bet well. All right, on to the next match, 1-1. Going to try to get the rubber match here. Again, what's going through my head right now, we're not trying to make many adjustments. We might be able to sneak in a lighter 3-bet now. Us 3-betting with the queen 9 is not going to be our protocol play. But depending on timing, and the timing there worked. He didn't really have a real hand. He had the queen 8. I'm guessing he defended for the sole reason of thinking that I didn't have much, which I really didn't. But I'd rather see probably a shove from him with the hand like queen 8 there if he thinks that I'm full of it than I don't know. I'll talk to him about the hand after the match, and I'm sure that you guys will hear his live thought processes. Sorry if it's pretty noisy out right now. In my apartment, and there's a garage below me, and it's 8:42 p.m. and naturally they're revving up their cars. So I'm gonna try to turn the volume up a little bit, but yeah, pretty bad timing for this to occur, so don't get mad at me for this background noise. This is out of my hands. I could not do anything about this, so. Alright, makes a 3-bet. We're going to fold pretty quickly, just show him we're not going to tangle. If that increases his 3-betting frequency, then we might play around with him a little bit. And I think a 3-bet here would work so I'm going to do it. I think this 3-bet's going to work really well. I don't think that he's going to think that we're bluffing ever. And that's just a quick way to get those 60 back. It's a pretty heavy risk versus reward, but in the early match we don't really want to show that we're going to be pushed around and just play an ABC style. So in the constant leveling war with another very good player, Sometimes you just have to take those little subtleties of timing and incorporate them into your game. This is a weird hand to play if he would 3-bet us here. This is a tough one to play. I don't think shipping is that. It's certainly not. I don't think the best play, but then again, flatting his 3-bet would put us again in another tough spot. Check the ace high flop. He checks the turn. Could fire out a thin value, but now we'll just check behind. And we're probably going to check the river. If he checks the river, I'd expect us to have the best hand. And we're just going to fold to that bet. That could be an ace thin value, backdoor flush. I don't think he's doing that with just a jack, but who knows. This ace jack suited in this particular instance, if he would have tripled it, I would have just flatted it. I wouldn't have 3-bet it. Again, just dumping standard hand. And if you guys can hear this, the sound of dimes, I'm trying to shuffle like chips 3 dimes together. It's not really working out too well because these things are very small. But it doesn't stop me from trying. 3-bet us here. Again, just going to show them that we're going to fold to that. And if we see maybe 1 or 2 more 3-bets, then we're going to start to have a little bit of fun and make some unconventional plays. These hands are tough. I like defending with these kind of hands. So I'm gonna defend. I like these kind of hands. Naturally, flop gin. If he has an ace, I expect him to check this flop. I'm going to lead out for 120 on the turn if he does check. I really would expect this to be bullshit, though. But, like I said last time, next time we saw this, we were going to min-raise, and I hope that he takes it as, I don't think you have an ace, so I'm going to make this play. So the best result I'm hoping for is a flat by him, or a raise. A raise I'm just going to flat call, if he would do it. And we're calling this all day. Okay. All right, so we got a little bit lucky to fade that flush draw. I do actually like his play. I think that he makes it pretty tough for me to call with an without a big ace, ace queen or ace king, and I think that my min raise looks like a bluff a lot of the time. So I do like his play. Now we have him at a little under 9 big blinds. Just going to fold here. I like to be fairly selective, shipping aces, decent kings, decent queens, but not 7-5. And certainly not going to call with this 5-3. I will ship with this hand, though. It's 10-7 suited. And he made a good call with king high. But, like I was feeling, we're going to win this one. No! No! Wow, what a jinx. I suck at cheering for myself. Alright, so now he's back to a respectable chip amount. Going to ship these 5s in. I'd expect a fold here. Not just saying that based on the timing, but it's the speed of his min raise. The noise in the garage has really slowed down, which is good. Gonna try not to jinx that. And we're off to the races. Flop to set. Decent flop. Decent turn. And a decent river. So we're gonna make one more video, and then we'll call it a game. So far, 2-1. Like I said, I do like his play there with that Jack-9, the flush draw. I do like his play there with that Jack-9 flush draw. Now post-match, what's going through my mind? Again, another execution of that min raise if we flop a monster like we did with that 10-6 suited. Say we flop another big hand like that and he leads out for a 2/3 pot continuation, we're going to do that min raise again, only with a hand. I don't think that he is going to believe it a second time, just thinking what I think that he's thinking about me. So we're going to do it with a legit hand again. And I would expect him this time, just looking to a future situation like that, if we do flop a big hand out of position and he does that, I'd expect him to just flat our min raise a lot, with a lot of just hands floating us a lot. So we'll see if this prophecy that I have is going to come true. Going to keep it aggressive early. I like calling with these hands. 75 big blinds deep. I like calling with suited kings. Again, it's a personal preference kind of thing. And just folding. I'd expect this to be a pretty strong hand. I don't know why. Just based on board texture, just think that he hit that flop decently well. Love these kind of hands. Just gonna flat it. Love these kind of hands though. These are big money makers. And again, just totally missed the flop. Not going to get fancy. I think he thinks we want to get fancy, but we're not going to. We're just going to unless the timing dictates it. We're just going to play our cards pretty straightforwardly. Okay, flop middle pair here. Either plays here is fine. A check or a c-bet. Turns a 10. We're going to bet 3/4 pot, and he folds. So now I'm picking up based on the speed of that check. If he does that again in the future, it's probably going to be pretty safe to take it down. Again, going to keep it aggressive. I think that he's in a little bit of a comfort mode right now with a 100 chip lead, so he's probably not going to be 3-betting us too light. And we're playing pretty much the same way. We're not trying to get involved with hands from the big. This feels like a decent spot to 3-bet, but I'm just gonna flat. The 3-3-4, and if he bets out 80 here, then we're gonna see what he would do if we do this. We are gonna make our min raise here. We're gonna see how he responds to it. I'd expect him to just a very curious thing. I would expect him to do that flat. I'd expect them to check this behind, give us a free card with our queen, and we're going to make a value bet with a queen or a club. So that happens. We're going to make a half pot value bet. If we get raised here, we're in a pretty bad spot. It's a weird hand. We're just hoping that he's not going to believe that we have a flush, or a flush as strong as we have. And he mucked. Or he called and mucked. Let's see what he had. He actually turned a flush with 8 deuce. So that read wasn't right. Okay. Gonna pause here a little bit. Make the 3-bet with the 10s. If he makes any move at it, then we're going to obviously call. Here's the hand history. He mucked 8 deuce. Sorry, I'm just getting used to recording the screen in one position. I'm used to having in the past recording the whole screen. I'm going to throw out a min bet here. or min raise. I'm sorry, keep calling it min bet. Though I guess yeah, same potato potato. Folding junk hands right now. Now we've almost have a 2-1 chip lead. We're in the driver's seat. Just don't want to get too spewy, really. Just want to keep making solid plays and hitting runner flushes is what we're also going to try to do. Okay, ace-7. Flop misses us, but it's a pretty good board for us. I think we're gonna flat this. We're not gonna give him automatic credit for a big piece. I would expect a check behind here a lot, unless he has a monster. I wouldn't expect him to be barreling too much, based on the tempo of the match. And if he does bet, we're just gonna fold. Which I know it seems like weak play, but sometimes you just got to get a feel for what a guy's doing. And I would expect him to check. Okay. Check quick, and we'll evaluate if he makes a river bet. Now he should have an idea what we have. Maybe an 8. I'd probably check behind here with an 8 too to try to induce. So he should have an idea what we have. I think he's deciding whether or not to pull the trigger, and our ace high was good. And I'll slide this over here, and I'd expect him to just have a 10 high. So now we do have over a 2-1 chip lead. Playing a pretty solid match, with the exception of our big. Well, I guess I like our rationale in that play. I do like his check behind on the turn. It was pretty tricky. Definitely didn't think he had a flush. And we have a gut shot, and our 9 is almost for sure good, but we'll just fold. Going to triple. I don't think he's going to be light 3-betting here. Want to mix up our ranges. We don't always want to be tripling because then he's going to be shipping it lighter on us. Here's the spot, just standard triple. Obviously getting this in all day. I guess I don't have to tell you guys that, but be ecstatic to get that ace king in. Flop top 2, huge flop. Gonna do that min raise again, and we're just trying to put him in uncomfortable situations. And gonna make a bet here, and hope that he doesn't believe us. Hope that he really doesn't think that we could have 2 pair plus here. Well, it's tough to have plus 2 pair, but 2 pairs fairly conceivable. Based on the again, I say based on the tempo and the flow of the match a lot. I think he'd shove here with on a semi with like a 6-4. But he made it the correct fold. And I would expect that hand to be something like 5, maybe like a queen 5 or something. And it's easy to analyze in the aftermath after they folded, but we're just hoping he had some kind of piece or had some kind of a straight draw that he didn't want to give us credit for having much on that board at all. Again, I like tripling with this. It looks like he's going to make a raise or he's going to do something. And again, just an easy fold. Hopefully in that video he doesn't show that he had like deuce 4. Another standard triple. And I'm not trying to make my timing one-dimensional. I'm not trying to act quick or I'm not trying to act slow. I don't think that's really when two good players are playing each other. I don't think that really has too much of an effect on things. And also, those min bets are not my normal game. I'm making an on-the-fly adjustment to a good player, trying to do something that he's not used to seeing. And yeah, so we've put him in a few interesting spots. If he shoves here, I think we're going to call just for the fact to we're not going to be way behind his range. We're going to be flipping a lot. I think we'd be ahead a decent amount, and we're going to be up against like ace nines and ace tens. A shot to eliminate. If we lose, we're going to be at 1760, 1240. So we're going to take a chance to eliminate, and we're flipping with him. That's pretty terrible flop. I like the call there, though. I don't think we have 90 chips invested. Getting a pretty good price. Yeah. All right, we have the Jack 3 here. Just going to check it, and on this, just going to check fold to any aggression. And I like what he did there. I like what he's doing. He's making pot size bets on the flop. It's really tough for me to continue on with an 8 or a 10 there. 10 not as much, but an 8 is tough. I personally like this tripling. I don't think that at these blinds he's going to be shipping on me too often, and I like it. I like incorporating that in a few times. I think it looks pretty strong in general. It looks like I'm going to call a shove a lot more than if I just min raised, and I expect him to defend way with a not way, but with a solidly decent, a wider range. And again, just giving it to him. Going to limp in here with this king deuce, and a lot of the plays I'm making are looking ahead. I'm sure Primo does that as well. Just looking ahead to what we think is going on, especially when playing regulars. When playing really bad players, I like to just keep it simple. Pretty much. If a player is very incompetent, I'm just going to take them to Value Town most of the time, and or if they're in a crazy bluffer, just throw in the rope. King 6 here. We'll defend the min raise. Flop is a pretty good flop for us. This king high looks pretty good. Again, calling here out of position though is it's going to be we're going to give him the betting lead. Hopefully he'll check it behind. Either way, this is a hand that we can't fold on this board. Hopefully the turn's just an ace to give us the stone cold. Alright, turns a 9. Check to him again and see what he does. And there's no purpose to really making a bet here. I don't think he's going to think we're floating. Hopefully he just checks behind and we'll take it down. Hopefully he didn't drill. Yeah, it's such a sick bet. It's so sick. Oh man, I feel like he just drilled a 3 on our ass, or might have a 9. I think we do have to call here though, just in case we're chopping. And no, it's so close though. I'm gonna call. I'm curious. Probably not a good. I'd expect him to probably have drilled a 3 on us. Oh wow, nice value bet. Ew. That was good. That was a good value bet. He must have narrowed our hand down. Maybe thought we were calling it with a queen high too. Why can't I just have an ace there one time and just shove it? Ew. Nice hand though. Well played. That's great extraction of value by him. Gonna make this raise, and again, if we get this in and we're behind, nothing we can do. I would expect a fold based on, I'm not just saying that because of the pause, I would expect a fold. I'd think he'd fold an 8 or a 5 here, so I think this is a good spot to bluff too. He shoved on us. It sucks. We'll be ahead of 6-7, chopping with low queens most of the time. Got a call if we're beat, whatever. And we are smoked. Nice hand. It's a frustrating one. Yeah. So he played that one. Those two hands at the end there were a little bit unlucky for us to get into. So we went 2 and 2. Trying to think of our main hands. I can't really remember any memorable hands from this last game. I do remember the Queen 9 versus Queen 8, the 7s versus the Jacks, our 10-6 on that 6-6 ace board versus flush draw. Yeah, when it's all that was very good opponent. Tough. This last hand's sick. That's nothing we can really do about it. It's how do we wake up with the queen when he flops top 2? But he played very well. We went 2 and 2. Very good player. A lot of props to him. I appreciate him doing this video, and hopefully you guys will enjoy both perspectives. Any questions or comments about why one of us played a certain hand a certain way, feel free to leave them. We'll get back to you as soon as possible. And until next time, take care, guys, and good luck.